The way Kronk has acted before, where he has said he doesn't want to talk to the media, what do you expect him to come out and say on television, first of all, as an attorney, seeing him out there?
Well, it'll be interesting to see what he has to say. I can't imagine what he would have to say to expand upon what he's already told. But perhaps we're led to believe that there may be some photograph he's taken of the scene, so I would imagine he's going to elaborate on what led to the finding of the body and the actual finding of the skeletal remains itself.
What would you recommend him? I mean, like that, what would his attorney be recommending to him to hold back on or not to say, I guess?
If I were to make a recommendation, I'd recommend that he don't, excuse me. If I were to recommend something to him, I would recommend that he does not go on TV, much less national TV. The prosecution has to be very nervous about a key witness, such as he going on national television and making statements. You can bet the defense is going to scrutinize every word that he has to say, and he's an important witness. Every witness associated with the crime scene, and certainly the witness who found the skeletal remains, is key to the prosecution, and it is also key to the defense to attack those witnesses.
And you had talked to me about this whenever he first came out and did this, and those 911 calls came out. I mean, that's something that they're going to attack automatically, and if he talks about it, will that make it any worse?
Absolutely. Every time a witness makes a statement, it's just another opportunity for the defense to, through cross-examination, point out any inconsistencies or any improbabilities as to the statements that these witnesses are making. The more he talks, the more fodder he gives to the defense to raise some reasonable doubt as to whether or not that body was in fact at that location prior to the time that their client was placed in jail.
What about him actually taking a photograph? Is that what could the defense say to that?
That is obviously would be fertile ground for the defense. Again, it seems that there's just so many people that want to capitalize on the death of this little girl, and it just puts him as another one of those individuals that he portrays himself as a good citizen and a concerned citizen. He may well be, but what does that do to his credibility if he has taken photographs that he's now peddled to the media or provided to the media and then given some exposure on national TV? It's as though he's just another person who wants his 15 minutes of fame and to capitalize on the death of this child.
Would prosecutors try to call him and tell him not to go on? I mean, is that something that they could even contact him, or they'd have to contact his attorney? How would that work?
The prosecution would not necessarily attempt to silence him. Certainly, they would discourage him from making any extrajudicial statements, but I doubt that they would be heavy-handed enough where they would try to stop him from making statements. If I were his attorney, I would certainly have discouraged him from making any extrajudicial statements, especially in light of the fact that they've already announced, look, he's nothing more than a concerned citizen. Why compromise that by making these statements and perhaps providing photographs that he took at the scene?
Does that suggest to you that he could be? I mean, does it suggest to you that he could be getting paid?
Well, yeah, absolutely. There certainly is media outlet that would pay for these kind of interviews, and certainly would pay for any pictures that were intimate to the crime scene or the skeletal remains themselves. So it will be interesting to see if there is a photograph, or what do we have a photograph of, and if it's something more than the scene itself, and it is the skeletal remains, that will be certainly a bombshell and a godsend to the defense in order to attack this witness's credibility. No, I think that that your angle was absolutely correct, which is this does not advantage the state. This advantages the defense. It gives them an opportunity, again, to compare whatever he has said in the past with whatever he says on national television in order to try to impeach him. And the defense will have to attack everyone associated with that crime scene, especially the person who actually located the skeletal remains, in order to raise this reasonable doubt that the defense is obligated to do in order to get a not guilty verdict in this case. So that's absolutely right. And the other thing is that we should hope for Kaylee's sake that he did not take photographs and attempts to peddle these photographs, because if he does, that touches upon his credibility as far as a witness in the prosecution's case.